Welcome to 0 to 60.
I'm Matt McChesney. I am the owner and operator of 6-0 Football Academy and 6-0 Equipment. Played at the University of Colorado from 2004. 6 years in the National Football League on both sides of football.
I'm Matt McChesney. This is 0 to 60. That is Coach Prime. We are at the University of Colorado. Brother, thank you so much.
All right. 0 to 60. We're rolling. We are back. Welcome to 0 to 60. I'm your host, Matt McChesney. Bailey's on the ones and the twos. Be co-hosting this kick-ass show today here, 1 p.m. Mountain. We have a lot to talk about, to say the least. Bet Online brings you the show, so let's pay some bills with them. And then we've got a new sponsor for the show today as well. So we got a lot to talk about. Any and all questions in the comments we'll try and answer to a point. But yeah, it's good to be back, and let's rock.
Absolutely. Let's roll. We got a lot to talk about, Matt. And this show is brought to you. We got a new sponsor here, Melon, a new hat company here. This hat brings you durability built to last 5 times longer than any other hat. This hat also brings you comfort and fit, the most comfortable fit. You can feel the difference in the materials they use. Different shape options to match everyone's styles and face shape. Sizing, snapback head. Now for small, classic, or XL to fit every size head. So if you're looking for the world's most durable hat, look no further. Go to melon.com. That's MELIN.com and put it to test to yourself. The show is also brought to you by Bet Online. Bet Online is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for betting. Whether you're a seasoned fan or first-time bettor, Bet Online is your ultimate game day companion. Bet Online has you covered with odds, stats, and more for every game, every play, and every win. Bet Online, the game starts here and we roll. Matt, we're back. How are you feeling? It's great to be back in the building here.
Good. It was a much-needed month, 3 weeks away. I'm fine, everybody. Just, have to – at 43, shit starts to spring up that you didn't think about when you were 33 or 23. So I had to make sure I was good and everything's good and we're rolling. And, I'm excited to be doing the show again. Today we don't have a guest, but Wednesday we've got the CU great Hannibal Navies on the show. If your name's Hannibal, you're either a great linebacker or a serial killer. Either will work. So Hannibal played in the NFL for a good 10 years. He'll be on Wednesday. And then a 15-year NFL vet and CU buff great Chad Brown will be on Friday to talk shop as well. So we got a big week. And, man, it's good to see your face, Bailey. Let's rock.
Let's rock, Matt. And if you guys are watching, hit that like button, subscribe, become a member of the Dungeon family. We got a lot to talk about today. Let's see.
Really cool that I got.
Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Matt, I got to see you rock that more often.
I'm going to be rocking the fuck out of this. I can't wait to wear it to the spring game.
Perfect. That exactly. I love to see it. Can't wait to see it more. Matt,
Cowboy hat, looking good, feeling good. Don't touch my fucking hat. We'll be in a fight. Cool. Things are good.
I love it. Man, Matt, I don't know if you've seen these. I gotta show you this. I texted you it, but so shout out to Kev the Trucker, who's making all these crazy graphics and stuff. He made your United Airlines video, if you remember, way back in the day. They're doing these dolls or whatever. I don't know what the deal with it is, the Barbie dolls or whatever, but they did one of you. And Kev the Trucker has done several others in the media space here. There's you, and if we go over, I don't know if you saw this. Oh, Ben, rock with the cowboy hat. There's Coach JB. I don't know if you've seen JB's. He's got the cigar in his book there.
What does the book say?
It says, "Hate me now, love me later." That's his book.
That is
Big Smitty.
Nice.
Going down the line here.
Nice.
We got Steve Kimster, Miami, in the boxing.
Nice.
And then the last one.
They got Petlock. Nice. Nice. Well, man.
Hey,
go back to that real quick.
Whitlock with the Bible and Caitlin Clark, because he's an avid women's basketball fan.
Go back to mine real quick.
But Matt, let's get into it.
Go back to mine real quick. I didn't really see it.
Oh, hold on. Let me go back to yours. Right. They got this one was actually really detailed. They got your body bag on there.
That's like exactly what I look like too.
It's really good. Shedeur jersey, Jokic.
Handsome, son. Shit. God damn. Everyone's trying to look like that.
Yeah, that's awesome. Shout out to Kev the Trucker on Twitter. And Matt, so we started off the show in a fun mood here, and now I got to talk to you about something that I think you need to respond to. And we've been off for a couple of weeks here, so unfortunately we hadn't had a chance to talk about this. I talked about this with Phil Dukes and Sean King on my show over the weeks here. But, Matt, the NCAA denied Deion Sanders' request for joint spring practices. And, again, we really, pushed for this during this, the spring period here where you see teams like Texas, Ohio State, USC decide to not do spring games. I thought Deion Sanders, and Fran Brown pushing to have a joint spring game and spring practices was a really great idea, one that I think coaches over the years have definitely pushed for, but the NCAA, not caring assholes of America, strike again. Matt, what's your response to this? Go ahead.
Well, why? In the land of no rules, this is the rule that you uphold. Exactly. In the land of no rules, this is the rule. I mean, you don't have to pony up any dough. Just have the players sign an extra liability form, which they will sign. And this would have been it would have been the absolute showcase of the spring. Everybody would watch this game. It would be awesome. And it would drive other schools to do the same thing. So, look, man, everybody knows how I feel about the NCAA. As a guy who works with, a lot of kids that are going to play under this umbrella, I think it's a joke. I think the NCAA is a crooked-ass organization. They do not help athletes. All they do is line pockets. They're very, very – I think it's ridiculous how they uphold some rules and don't uphold rules in any other way when it comes to NIL or tampering or – the transfer portal windows or coaches being able to leave or when coaches can be hired. I don't think it's that hard to sit down in a fucking room and lay out a date after the national title where coaches can get hired and fired, a date after the national title when the transfer portal opens, a date after the spring semester when the transfer portal opens, not in the middle of the spring semester. It just everything that they do is ass backwards, and this is another example of that. And honestly, and I have to ask this question too: if it was Ryan Day and Dabo Sweeney that wanted to do a joint practice, do you think they would have gotten it approved?
No. Personally,
no.
I've said this for a while. I bet they would have played hardball, and then they would have I personally think next season they're going to be yeah, now everybody can do it or something like that. But I think that
if it leads to everybody being able to do it and saving spring games, I'm with it. But I don't know. I think it was a great idea by Coach Prime. Fran Brown ran with it, and I'd love to see these two schools play each other. They played in the Orange Bowl or in the Fiesta Bowl way back in the day. But I'd love to see these schools play each other just because of this. Why not? So, I wish that they were doing it because the spring game, look, I know that there's a lot of Colorado Buffalo fans that are upset that they've only sold 10,000 tickets to the spring game, but it's not the same. Travis and Shedeur aren't there. So, it's now people are used to what's happening in Boulder, and the expectation is going to be 10 wins. So, now the ski slope might look better than the spring game. And this is something that Coach Prime is going to have to understand about the community that he's in.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, I don't think if Dabo or Bill Belichick or whoever that, different coaches per se that push for it, I still think there would have been pushback just because it's the NCAA and then the timing of it. Ultimately, but I wanted to read to you the NCAA's reasoning behind this, Matt. They gave 3 different reasons here, and I'll go ahead and read this. The timing of their request, noting most institutions have already planned their spring practice periods and some are at the end of or have completed their spring practice period. Number 2, the competitive and recruiting advantage gained by the applicant institutions if a waiver was approved to allow these institutions to engage in activities no other institutions are permitted to do. And 3, the potential academic impact associated with student athletes missing class time to participate in practice activities. Matt, let me tell you why the third one's bullshit. You got Stanford traveling to Syracuse. You got Miami traveling to Cal. I don't think that is in their best.
We got fucking Georgia Tech and Florida State playing in Ireland.
Exactly. Like, I don't think that's in their best.
But we can't mangle up enough time to play a spring game in Boulder.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, if you work for the NCAA, how can you wake up in the morning and look at yourself in the mirror and go, God, I can't wait to do a good job today? You're a piece of shit. Quit your job. You suck. All the interns, all the fucking people that are supposed to take care of the rules, that there are no fucking rules.
Yeah.
It's like fucking Mexico on spring break, dog. There's no rules. We're rolling.
Yeah.
As long as I don't end up in a fucking Tijuana hellhole prison, we're good. So I just, it's I wish, God, I can't wait till the day when all these programs realize that they don't need the fucking NCAA to be successful anymore. And I'm sorry if that means that certain programs have to stay under the current college model. That blows. But the top four leagues in this conundrum that we call college football, they need to tell the NCAA to kick rocks, suck on some nuts, and get the fuck out of Dodge. All the ACC, the Big 12, the SEC, and the Big 10 need to come together and leave. And then they can do whatever the fuck they want, whenever they want. People will be beating down their doors to give them television deals that don't concern the fucking non-caring assholes of America. The NCAA can suck a nut. Next. Well, let's take a break. Before we go into some real Colorado news, let's stick on Matt's already in a great mood about the NCAA. Shout out to Felix Speaks for the $5 donation. Welcome back, guys. Season 3 under Coach Prime is going to be lit. The Buffs are back like the 90s. The early 2000s, Doug.
Yeah, exactly. Well, Matt, let's stick on talking about NCAA transfer portal news across college football. The Nico situation you talked about with Coach JB this morning. I wanted you to give a brief just rundown here on 0 to 60. What are your thoughts on this whole situation? Nico reportedly requested had contract negotiations. That came out, contract negotiations in college football. Matt, the 2020-25 headline. Following day doesn't show up to practice, and Josh Heupel said, and Nico part ways. So supposedly, and Nico enters the portal. He's reportedly in talks with UCLA, Tulane, and Bill Belichick and the Tar Heels in North Carolina. What are your thoughts on the situation here, Matt?
Okay. This is bad for everyone. Mm-hmm. It's bad. It's a bad look by the kid. It's a bad look by the university. It's a bad look by the NCAA. It's a bad look by his team behind him, thinking that he's worth $8 million. Dog, you ain't worth 2.4. Mm-hmm. You're not. Some fucking guy ranked you high with stars. We just saw you play. You're a good player. You're far from great. You tried to leverage your opportunity in a playoff game in Columbus against the eventual national champions, and they cracked your fucking head open, literally, on national TV. If you saw his helmet split. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying that he can't go get $8 million. I'm saying he ain't worth $8 million. Yeah. And I think it's smart by Heupel, and Mario Cristobal came out and said it. Coach Prime said it many times. Don't just come here for money. That's not what we do. Mm-hmm. And I respect that. It draws a line in the sand. And across this line, you do not. So look, if this monstrosity of a system wants to get their shit together, can we please, for the love of fucking God, figure out a way to put these kids on contract, pay them according to their contract, make them go to class, make them go to practice, make them play at a high level. If they don't live up to their contract, you can cut them. and or trade them and or do whatever the fuck you want because you're the program, you're the franchise.
Yeah.
So why is he or his dad or a street agent negotiating contracts? Why do I am not a fucking lawyer. No, shocker. But I'm not a lawyer, okay?
Yeah.
I don't like rules. I fucking hate rules, okay? I'm not a lawyer. I will negotiate for all my guys that are, I just got off the phone with Deacon this morning. His trip to SC was incredible. There's a lot of money there. Breck's going to get a lot. Reese is going to get a lot. Nick's going to get a lot. Moo's going to get a lot. Corbin's going to get a lot. Brody's going to this is what it is. But exactly, scratch that palm. I shouldn't be negotiating it though.
Right.
What the fuck? How about an actual lawyer agent? Why is he or his team talking to Tennessee? And what did Tennessee expect also? You're on a year-to-year contract with a mercenary. You don't think he's going to demand more money? If this came out of right field, get the fuck out of here. So, look, man, there has to be some kind of line drawn in the sand on both sides. You're not worth $8 million, Nico. You're just not. You're not. You're not worth $8 million, dog. And you're probably, I'd be shocked if he got $8 million from any of those schools you just said. Shocked.
Yeah, I agree. And
so,
Matt,
I need every kid and parent and coach, pump your fucking brakes, dog. You're not as good as you think you are. This is a grown-ass man's game at the college level and at the NFL level. The NFL level is where you go get generational wealth. I saw somebody this morning make a comment like, oh, you don't think that $8 million is generational wealth? Well, no, not really when you're thinking about Dak Prescott's sorry ass makes $60 million a year.
Right, yeah.
So that's the way yes, $8 million is a lot of money, and I'd love to have it. You'd love to have it. Everybody in the chat would, and it would change your life, yeah. But if he has the potential to be a 60, 70, when he's coming up for contract in 8 years from now, off his rookie contract, if he's any good and can even get there, because we don't know, he could be making $80 million a fucking year with the way that the salary cap is going up, TV contracts and everything else. So what are we really focused on here? Are we just focused on I played average on a good football team, and now I think that my worth is up here? Well, who told you that? Who told you that you're worth $8 million, dog?
I'm with this whole situation, it's really perplexing to me. I talked about it before Nico didn't show up to practice. I talked about it on Thursday with Sean King, and Sean King and I were saying the same thing you did. He didn't play his way to a new contract, man. Let's be real. Tennessee had
he's demanding. He sucks, bro.
They had a national championship caliber roster, and he was their Achilles heel. Let's be real. I mean, he played decent, but if he ever played,
that's if you look, you take Shedeur Sanders or Cam Ward and put it on Tennessee's roster, and they probably play for the national title.
Right. Yeah, exactly. And it's perplexing because now I don't know if because you saw, I don't know if you saw Nico's dad come out on Twitter, go at On3 Sports, who, on this show we love, but go at On3 Sports saying it's all bullshit or whatever. I don't know what happened. Somebody in his camper, did you hear about Dan Lanning potentially reaching out to Heupel at somebody in Nico's
As
camper?
He should.
Right.
Bro, I do the same thing. When someone comes, I'm going to use Shea Oladipo, who's gonna be a draft pick this year from Boise. Everybody knows Shea. We've done a ton of stuff on him here on the show. He's unbelievable safety linebacker at Boise. He's a great football player. Didn't get invited to the combine. How the fuck does that happen? I didn't go to the combine either. The combine's a joke, but still, how do you not invite Shea?
Yeah.
But I don't know. For 2 years in a row, I would get phone calls like, "Hey, you think you could talk to Shea and see if he would transfer?" I immediately told Boise, like, yo, they're trying to steal your cat. You might want to put the lockdown on Oladipo and make sure he doesn't leave. Like, it's shady. It's fucking shady. And it's teaching college kids that already think they're above the law. We'll talk about Lacy and all that here in a minute, I'm sure. But we're teaching this next generation that thinks they're above the law and the rules don't apply to them, that now they can just do tampering and shady shit behind the scenes too. And that's not the way fucking business works, dog, because there has to be some trust here between the coaches and the program and the players. If we're not all in this together, if there's 3 or 4 guys that are halfway through the season are like, oh, well, I'm a starter at Tennessee, but, let's see what we can get from UCLA. What? I'm sorry, but if I'm on that team, fuck this kid. Like, if I'm on Tennessee's team, if I'm Gage Ginther, who we sent to Tennessee, all right, and he's going to probably start for him next year. He just redshirted. Badass offensive lineman. I have no idea what Gage is thinking, but if I'm Gage, I am saying kick rocks, motherfucker. Peace. Right. You don't want to roll with us? $2.5 million isn't enough to be an average quarterback and hold us back?
This is why I don't understand. He didn't play his way to more money at all. And I mean, yeah, exactly. He's getting paid. And I mean, let's be
this is what I'm talking about here. Look. There was tampering, bro.
Are you surprised?
Every single kid in the transfer portal.
Yeah.
Colorado tampers, Nebraska tampers, Boise tampers, Alabama tampers, Georgia tampers, Tennessee tampers. Everyone is tampering. Everyone. Oregon is tampering. Every single school they have an entire recruiting department just set up to go on social media and message players and see if they would fucking leave schools. Mm-hmm. There's no rules or regulations. I talk more to coaches now about former clients that are current college football players that I am not working with actively. They're in college playing, right? They may come home for a month, right? They're still in the program, but I'm not like doing anything with them and shit. They're not at the gym every day. I take more calls about guys getting like wanting to leave their schools than I do about the high school kids that they should be recruiting to go to school. And that's no joke. So tampering is fucking rampant. It is rampant in college sports. I'm not surprised Dan Lanning called Heupel and fucking ratted out this kid. The coaches have a code, bro. Mm-hmm. They all know each other. Like they want to beat the shit out of each other on Saturdays, but Monday through Friday and plus Sunday, they're boys. They're all in this shit together. And I'm telling you, if this is not new, 100% he was tampered with, and he's not the only one. You don't think that CU tampered with that big tackle they just got from Memphis?
Yeah, we're gonna talk.
You don't think somebody made a phone call and said, "Yo, don't go to wherever the fuck else you're gonna go. Come to CU."
I'm mad.
That didn't happen. Oh, because CU doesn't. How could they tamper? I mean, fuck.
Exactly, Matt. Well, we'll see where Nico ends up. Like you mentioned, he's talking to those 3 schools: UCLA, Bill Belichick in North Carolina, who, as Andre Sports just reported just now, Bill Belichick is a known buyer. They're looking for a quarterback in the portal. So watch Nico to UNC in Chapel Hill, and then Sean King's Tulane down south there.
And look, hats off to King. Hope you get better, brother. I know you're going through some shit. You're part of this family, so prayers up to Sean King and everything he's going through.
Yeah, absolutely. T's and P's of Mr. King. He's the man. T's and P's of him.
Matt, and look at this. Lanning has no code. He's just covering his ass. Nico wasn't transferring to Oregon. Yeah. Lanning and coaches have a code. Look, you may not like Dan Lanning because you're a diehard Colorado fan, but Dan Lanning did this right. Dan Lanning 12, 13 years ago was like at Stony Brook College or some shit, and he was in my fucking gym recruiting. Mm-hmm. He's a good dude and a great coach. Facts. So, like, you can not like him and everything because you don't like Oregon because they fucking tax our ass every time we play them. But let's be real here. Let's not just fucking hate on somebody because he wears a different colored jersey just because. There's total tampering. The coaches all talk. You don't think that Coach Prime and Coach Gerard and Gunner and everybody else that's up there working with the offensive line pick up the phone and didn't call Ryan Silverfield at fucking Memphis and go tell me about this tackle? Silverfield knew he was going to lose him. He's in a fucking mid-major conference. He can't compete with the big boys if he has a Division I fucking Power 4 tackle that's going to be a draft pick. Homeboy's gone. Exactly. So then if you don't tamper, you're behind the 8 ball and you don't get the fucking great players. They just got the kid from Campbell too, right? That big fucking receiver.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that too.
Sincere. Yeah. You better sincerely fucking believe that they tampered with Campbell too. They were probably the first ones in there like, hey, coach, tell me about this big receiver you have. When spring's over, we're going to take him. So, bro, don't sit here and act naive like, oh my God, they're tampering and coaches are talking and they don't have any code. Yeah, they do. They got major code, homie. And they think differently than all the fans. And the fans need to get on top of this. Like, you got to understand that this is mercenary ball, homeboy.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't have somebody that will attract high-quality mercenaries these days, you will not win. Thank God we got the mercenary magnet in Boulder.
Yeah, and I think fans need to understand there's no regulation. This is just what it is. It is the Wild Wild West. People don't want to admit it. There's no regulation. So this is
just here. Look, I gotta stop. Matt, stop since you're playing with Jimmy Horn. You don't think that Jimmy facilitated this? That's not tampering, Dave. What are you talking about, dog? Like everybody got to understand, I'm not mad at them for tampering. Do it. I'm saying if you want some fucking some kind of we signed this kid for 3 years and we're going to develop him into a great player. That who's to say that somebody's not on the phone with Juju right now in his ear? You really want to sit behind a fifth-year senior?
Now, I asked you that. I've asked you that a while ago. That's what I'm saying. And exactly, that's what it is. This is exactly what it is. But, Matt, let's stick on CU here, talk a little recruiting. You already brought it up here. Colorado lands a huge offensive line signee in the transfer portal in Memphis. Offensive line transfer Xavier Hill, 6'4", 320, 2-year starter, all ACC or AAC honors in 2024. And he's played both guard and tackle. Matt, what are your thoughts on this signing?
I would love to tamper with Gage. He should be in Boulder.
Yeah.
This kid is a fucking stud. This kid's a stud. He's a great player. So if you're telling me that this is the right tackle and Seaton's the left tackle, the interior three need to get the shit together. And the interior three, I'm sure, is going to be Tyler Brown's going to be one of them, right? Because he's a returning starter. And then I'm sure Cash Cleveland has got the nod at center right now, right? And I don't know who the right guard's going to be. I saw that 2 of the freshman offensive linemen they brought in were both 380 pounds.
Big dudes, yeah. Oh, boy, out of Nashville.
Did you see that? Like, these two weighed in at 380 each, and I'm like, God damn.
Yeah, I saw Brian Howell's report. I was like, holy moly.
Like, you better fucking get these boys on the step mill. Holy shit. Hey, thanks, Mike.
Shout out to Mike Bundy. Mike Bundy's the man. Appreciate you.
This Cowboy ad's really turning the guys on in the chat. Fuck. You can only imagine how the women feel. But if you're telling me that we've got Jordan Seaton, who was 285 last year and is now clocking in at 325, and we got this big mean son bitch who's going to go to the right side, I'm just begging for the interior three to get their shit together, because then I think you're going to have a really physical, ass-kicking offensive line. And then maybe, just maybe, Zane or the Atkins kid at tight end can actually be a weapon in the middle of the field.
I'm excited about him.
And block. You can look 12 personnel with 2 tight ends and a scissor. Holy shit. So I'm just saying I'm excited about – I was excited about the offensive line changes last year, and they got better, of course, the 9-4 with cutting sacks in half, but they weren't good. Let's be real.
Yeah.
They sucked still up front. They were awful the first year with Prime. They were average to below average last year, but they did show improvement. I think now with the personnel they have, especially with the coaching, with Dre and Gunner and George, I think that all 3 of them, plus Marshall Falk and everything else that's there, the competition with the defensive line, because the defensive line, I think personally, I haven't said this on the show yet, but I think the defense next year is going to be the best in the Big 12 and the reason they make the playoff. I think that defense is going to be unbelievably outstanding, and they're going to push the offense to just get better and better. I wouldn't be surprised if the defense slaughters the offense in the spring game and the defense slaughters the offense all fall, and people are like, well, the offense really looks like it's struggling. Nah, dog, our defense is just real.
Man. Yeah, there you see Colorado's D-line. But, man.
They are fucking ruthlessly good up front, bro.
I'm excited.
They look like an SEC team.
Yeah, I don't know if you've seen the well-off videos. Yeah, they look mean up front here, especially on the defensive side here. Offense, we just talked about. I think it's a huge addition, Matt, for their offensive line. And you think this kid's going to play tackle for CU? because he's playing both
right
tackle and guard at Memphis.
I did cut about 20 lbs. Look, I got a neck and everything.
Hey, yeah, Matt, you look good. Hell yeah.
Try not to have a fucking heart attack at 43. He's the right tackle. Look, I'm not saying he can't play left guard next to Jordan, but then who plays right tackle?
Yeah, exactly.
Like they're bringing him in because we've got a revolving door of people at right tackle, and they got to fix that shit.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that the opportunity, like if you look at the offensive line room, there's going to be guys that don't get opportunity just because they don't think they can play there. Oh, there's too many guys to compete with, and I'm not going to get a shot. Because they're deep. They got a ton of talent. I wouldn't be surprised if you see 5 or 6 offensive linemen go in the transfer portal in the spring and or summer just because they don't think they're going to be able to compete with the guys they're bringing in. Which, back in the day, people would look at that, right, Bailey, and go, oh, well, Coach Prime doesn't have control of his program, and it's just a revolving door. But now that everyone does that, and that's the way football works now, exactly. I look at it and go, okay, what's the roster turnover in the NFL? Roster turnover in the NFL is what? 35% every year. You got new players. So roster turnover in college football with no contracts is going to be 50% or not more every year. And you're going to try and hold on to your glue guys. So Seaton's a glue guy. Shedeur's a glue guy. Shiloh's a glue guy. Hunter's a glue guy. Jimmy Horn's a glue guy. You know, Wester was drywall. He was only here for a year. Shepard was drywall. He was only here for a year. You know what I'm saying? Like Tyler Brown's a glue guy. Cash Kleeman could be a glue guy. This kid from Memphis, he's drywall. You bring him in for a year or two. You know what I'm saying? So Coach Prime has done a really, really good job of being able to separate the two. You know, like he's still going after elite players in high school that he wants to come in and compete and play early, but he's also attacking the Mercenaryville with all the mercs out there, and he's a merc magnet. I swear to God, Coach Prime is the mercenary magnet of college football, and it's awesome because if I was in the position where I had an opportunity to be like, okay, I can go in the transfer portal, I'm a grad transfer. I played 3 or 4 years somewhere and played really well. Now I've earned the opportunity to go because I wouldn't transfer until I graduated. That's just me in this time and era, and I get up and my 3 choices are, you know, like let's say CU, UCLA, and Clemson. Dog.
Yeah.
You go play for Coach Prime, it's fucking on. So, you know, I think that there's a lot of people that are angry that Colorado was like, there's a lot of folks that thought that this program would never be what it is now again. And they're mad because Arkansas could have hired Coach Prime, and Auburn could have hired him. Nebraska could have hired him. Everybody was scared shitless. Rick George is the only one that saw the potential. Don't be mad because we see it and y'all don't.
Exactly. And Matt, I think like you mentioned in the offensive line, I think there's going to be a lot of competition here. You mentioned we've talked about Manti Money on the offensive line transfers, Zy Chrysler, along with several others. It's going to be really interesting as we get toward, see the spring game. I hope you wear the cowboy hats at the spring game. And
I'm wearing this to the spring game. You know this.
Yeah. And as we get closer to fall here,
Did you see? Not to cut you off, but did you see everybody in the chat? You guys will remember Talon Chandler, right? So Talon was committed to CU forever, for like 2 years, or at least a year. And he was in my program and come out and work out. And then he panicked when they had a bad game, and he dropped CU and committed to Missouri, and that was his dream school. Guess where he's at?
Oh, what?
The transfer portal.
Oh yeah, I saw. Yeah, we got
4 years eligibility. He played in one game in Missouri. Pretty much. So when you see young guys like that going to the portal, there's 3 different kinds of portals. I was tampered with and I was drug into the portal. Mm-hmm. I'm a grad transfer and I've earned the right to go to the portal, or I just got cut. He just got cut.
I see. And yeah, you've seen several players across Missouri's defense in the portal here. I believe one of them, maybe when you mentioned taking a visit to CU next week. Matt, let's stick on CU here and talk about another addition in the transfer portal here. And this is one I think it's going to be a huge addition. We talked about earlier. Colorado lands Campbell and USF transfer Sincere Brown. This dude's he can run. He can really run here. He is a freaking stud, 6'5". Apparently can run a 4.3 here. Man, I'm really excited to see what he can do. But Matt, what are your thoughts on this addition, the transfer portal to Colorado's offense, which I'm guessing Kaidon Salter at quarterback? Go ahead.
Do you really think Salter's going to start?
Man, you really think Juju's got a shot here? Like,
I would start Juju. Yeah.
Wow.
I would start Juju over Salter.
Damn.
I think Juju's generational talent. I think Salter's a good college quarterback. I think Juju could end up being like a Kyler Murray type, first pick of the draft. And you don't let Coach Prime knows that you're not supposed to sit that kid. So I would not be surprised at all if Juju's a starter. And I want him to be the starter. I wouldn't be surprised if Salter hits transfer portal in the spring or summer because he knows.
Damn.
And you've already got a great backup in 16.
Yeah, that's true.
Who's a really solid football player that can go in there and win games for you, who's solid and knows his role. Look, this kid, Sincere from Campbell, is as good of a player at his position as you can ask for against college competition. We'll see how he does in the pros. But he's big, he's strong, he's fast, he high points the ball. I mean, he is really, really, really hard to cover one-on-one, which, look at that shit. Splitting safeties and corners, and he's a gown. Now, I know he's playing against shitty competition, but I don't care. Randy Moss played against shitty competition in Marshall, too. It didn't mean he wasn't the fucking man. So
right.
I think that this is the kind of get that just elevates Colorado's offense one more time. And if you're a quarterback and you always know that Coach Prime is going to go out and try and find you the best offensive lineman and the best skill players humanly possible to surround you with, so you don't have to drag fucking bankers to the line of scrimmage and be like, could you please run a hook and make it quick because you're slow as fuck. As long as that, when that doesn't happen, you've got NFL players all over the field, and this is another one. So, I mean, look, his name kicks ass, and sincerely is going to be an absolute stud at Colorado next year. Stud. We're talking this fucking kid is going to I wouldn't be, how much eligibility does he have left? 2 years?
I'm not sure how much. What's his eligibility? Let me look it up here. Here, as you can see, Colorado, some of his teammates here, Salter, and others.
On top of all these other studs they have, Omarion Miller and the other Miller who's coming off injury. They got dudes everywhere, so it's awesome. I mean, if the offensive linemen should take a page out of the receiver book. I don't see all the receivers running to the transfer portal to try and get out of Boulder. I didn't see it last year. Wester and Horn and Shepard and Hunter and Miller and all these guys, they all got work. So I would assume that, maybe the receiver should go talk to the offensive lineman and be like, don't leave, just work. This isn't to come to Colorado and get shit handed to you, team. This is to come to Colorado and fucking compete with other NFL players to see if you're an NFL player team. That's what we're doing in Boulder.
Matt, I want to go back to your Juju take. I'm okay. This is going to be an interesting to watch here.
Will start week 1 against Georgia Tech, and he will start all year, and he'll be a freshman All-American and take him to the playoff.
Wow. Okay. I talked about this with Phil Dukes. Phil Dukes, we kind of went back and forth about it here, but I think we're kind of on the same page as I think you roll with experience here in Salter, and then you're going to see sprinkles of Juju. Whether that's, have him come in.
I think Coach Prime is going to look at the field and go, Salter's really good, and he's experienced, and I know exactly what I'm going to get out of him, and that's exactly why I'm going with the fucking kid. Because I have no idea what I'm going to get out of him. He's a fucking wild card. He's way more talented. Salter's talented. Juju is first pick of the draft talented, dog, and he's a baby. He's supposed to be a senior in high school next year. I just get him out there and let him fucking go crazy. And this is the other thing. It's not like he's coming in to start on a scrub-ass team. He's surrounded by the best left tackle in fucking college football, a really good right tackle they just brought in, receivers that are falling out of the fucking rafters left and right. I know Augustana left, but again, I'm sorry that the other guys behind you are better than you. Again, why are you just fucking leaving? Because everyone behind you is better and you know you're not going to get carries? Yeah. You know, I played on a team at CU in 01 where our running back room was Cortland Johnson, stud, Chris Brown, stud, Bobby Purify, stud, and Marcus Houston. And Marcus Houston's the number one player in the country. He can't get a carry. Marquisha, excuse me. So I just think that Coach Prime isn't going to look at age or experience. I think he's going to look at Salter and go, I know exactly what I can get with this kid, and he's kind of tapped. And if he could have gone to the NFL, he would have left last year after a 12-win season. Back-to-back 12-win seasons. Because they played Oregon the year before in the fucking Fiesta Bowl, if I remember correctly.
That's true.
So if he was really an NFL prospect and he was really that guy, and I'm not saying he's not a good college quarterback. He's better than me. I'm no quarterback. But I will say this. If he was going to be the generational talent that they're looking for to play quarterback there, much like Shedeur, he would have done it already. It's like when I'm watching the NCAA tournament and Houston's starting five-year seniors that are never going to play basketball again. Because you're a fifth-year senior in college basketball, dog, you're never going to play in the NFL or in the NBA. You would have done it already. So what I'm saying is you might have Juju for 3 years. He goes in and starts as a freshman, destroys as a sophomore, wins a natty as a junior, and he's gone. So you don't have the ability to sit on a fucking firecracker, homie, unless you want your ass burned. And Coach Prime isn't about burning his own ass. So don't sit on that firecracker, homeboy. You better light it and fucking throw it.
I love your analogies there.
I didn't say Juju was leaving. I said Juju should start. And listen to what the fuck I just said.
Matt's got Juju. I think ultimately Salter will start. We're going to see sprinkles of Juju. We'll see. I mean, it's early. It's really early. Matt, let's just address this now before we talk about CU's run game. JB didn't mock Kyren Lacy's death. You were on the show this morning. Matt, can you kind of talk about Kyren Lacy's death and what are your comments on it here on 0 to 60 here before we move some more CU Buffs news here? Go ahead.
This is fucking heartbreaking altogether. I mean, there's nothing good out of this. I've had multiple teammates and brothers, all guys for some reason, that have killed themselves post-career. When I saw this, it always strikes up Rashawn at his funeral and just how ruthless that was. And it was so terrible. And I know this kid fucked up, and I know he's not going to go first round anymore, and I know that he's going to go to jail. But this isn't the answer. Getting out of jail, sitting in your car, and taking your own life is not the answer. And I can't put myself in his shoes, and you can sit here and say, well, you can't do that, blah, blah, blah. I can have an opinion on it. And I know what Coach JB was talking about more, the institutions and the support staff and everybody that allowed him to get to this point in his life. They didn't check him from driving a fucking what kind of car was he driving? A Ferrari or some shit?
Yeah, I think Charger or some shit.
Some souped up shit he probably shouldn't. He wouldn't be driving if he didn't have an NIL deal. Mm-hmm. Now, I'm not saying that everybody that gets an NIL deal is going to kill someone, but this is something that happens an awful lot. I see a lot of really young football players that like to drive real fast, and you ain't Ricky Bobby, and this ain't a fucking joke. So this is a bad situation. It doesn't get any worse. I mourn for his family and the LSU community. I think that this kid, nobody was in his corner saying, look at the examples. Look at Henry Ruggs. I brought up Henry this morning. Henry Ruggs is going to get paroled in a year. Mm-hmm. And he'll be out of prison. And I guarantee you he gets another opportunity. He's too fast and too good of a receiver not to play. He's had 4 years or 5 years off. He's rehabilitated. I guarantee you it woke him up. I bet you he never drinks again in his fucking life. I bet you get a totally different human being if he does decide to go back. Mm-hmm. When I was with the Rams, Leonard Little killed somebody drinking and driving. I think he missed like 8 games. Dante Stallworth went to prison for killing somebody in aggravated assault with a motor vehicle. He was on the undefeated Patriots team. So everything, when you're in it, when my career ended and my best friend, who consequently is serving a 25-year prison sentence for attempted murder, Justin Bannon, when all that went down and my career ended, did I think like this? Yeah, of course I did. I sat in my truck with my piece and wondered, would it be easier to go this way rather than that way? But this is what suicide does. Suicide allows the person that's hurting out, and it shuffles all the grief and all the pain and all the anguish to your family, to your name, to your kids, to your friends, to your university.
Yep.
Everyone's talking about, instead of talking about how good of a player this kid could have been and he made a mistake and he's got to go rectify it and come back stronger. Now he's gone and he doesn't get a chance to rectify it. And I know prison is intimidating and shit and all that, but I'm telling you, bro, nothing is this bad. Nothing. There's nothing bad enough to kill yourself. And anybody in the chat that wants to disagree, okay, that's your opinion, but it's not an easy way out. Now all this grief has been shuffled on his family and his football team and his friends and his teammates and the 78-year-old gentleman that he killed. Imagine how that family feels now that Lacy's dead too. It's just a complete clusterfuck. It's bad. So I think that suicide is from our cultural perspective, is not something that I accept. And I'm not religious. That's not the reason I don't accept it. It's because, off the top of my head, from Brian Turner to Rashawn Salam to Drew Walrus to Pete Friedrich to Odie, to all these guys, that's just CU boys that I knew that are all killed themselves, either when I was at CU or afterwards. And that's off the top of my head, not even really thinking about it. It's not easier for Drew's family. It's harder. He's gone. It's not easier for Rashawn's family. It's harder. He's gone. So this is as bad as it gets. And I feel for everyone involved. And it's a goddamn cautionary tale. It's a cautionary tale, man. Stop living as fast as you live. Stop. Yeah. I lived fast when I was a youngster. I get it. It's fun. I didn't know any different. There was no social media or anybody telling me what to not do and do. Yeah. It was just kind of like I was just there and we were partying and it was fun and yada, yada. Well, now there's so many examples of what not to do. And so many examples of what to do. And it sucks, bro. It's really bad. And I feel for the family and the team and everybody that's talking about it. This is the kind of topic that can really rub people the wrong way. So it's shitty. There's nothing good about it. And look, I respect Coach JB because he says things that people think, but they won't say.
That's very true.
And you know what? That we need that in the society that we live in today, because I saw a comment earlier. I don't know if it was on JB's show or this one, where a gentleman, maybe it was on Twitter, he was like, I love listening to JB's show because I don't agree with anything he says. So I just sit there and yell at the radio all the time. Like, I don't want to listen to just something I can just be, oh, well, that's true. So was that. That's fucking lame. Mm-hmm. We're supposed to go back and forth with each other here in a civil manner instead of I love it when the comments get pointy and they start talking shit. You're typing shit talking. No, right? If you have to type shit talking, you can't talk shit. That's just, you're typing shit, and that's terrible. You can't do that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's just an unfortunate situation for the families. Matt, you put it as well said as anybody. And man, yeah.
Unfortunately, I feel so bad for this kid, bro. Regardless of him pointing a hypothetical gun on national TV or being uncoachable, like Coach Kelly was yelling at him on Friday, he's still an unbelievable talent. He's a kid. He's fucking 21 years old trying to live his dreams. He fucked up. Like, where's the community? Where's Coach Kelly? Like, did you go get him did you go see him in jail? Or did you just turn your back on him? Where's the support staff from LSU to go and help this kid get over this? Wait, you didn't think that he would be on suicide watch? You didn't go take his weapons from him? You didn't think he had a gun? What are you, fucking stupid? Everyone's got a gun. Every swinging fucking dick and every slit in America is packing fucking heat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Even the guys who think they're girls and the girls who think they're guys, they're packing fucking heat too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, it's true.
Where was LSU when this kid got out of jail and was a fucking train wreck and went and killed himself in his car? Where were you? Did you just turn your back on him when he made a mistake and he's off the team, out of sight, out of mind? Again, I'm sorry, but Coach Kelly's got some explaining to do, dog. Like, where were you? If I'm a player, if I'm a coach, excuse me, sorry, I'm getting a little fired up. If I'm a parent, which I am, of a very good player, which I am, and I'm a mentor to all these other kids, I ain't letting anybody go to LSU. Not until I hear Coach Kelly come out and fucking talk about this and talk about why his support staff, or why the fuck weren't you there to help your player? Why weren't you the one trying to get him out of jail and take him home and have him move into your fucking house just to make sure he doesn't freak out and do dumb shit? No, just out of sight, out of mind, right, Brian? He's not your problem anymore, right? You don't want to know who the fucking coward is here? It's Brian fucking Kelly. It ain't the kid.
Yeah, again, lack of support system, Matt. And JB highlighted that. I don't understand why people are going at JB. I get it. He's going against the grain, definitely. But if you listen to what he really talks about,
JB wasn't really calling Lacy a coward. He was calling the administration and the entire shit sandwich that is NIL and the transfer portal. And I'm for it. I want kids to get paid, Bailey. You know this. Everybody knows it. I want them to. This conversation I just had with Deacon Schmidt this morning, it fucking gave me goosebumps. I can't stop grinning. The conversation with Breck after the Oklahoma visit. I'm pumped for my guys. They're about to fucking get paid and go play, and it's just everything they've ever wanted right in front of them.
Yeah.
But I'm not trying to suck off my guys. And I think that there's a lot of people that were probably trying to suck off Lacy, the leeches. Yeah. And when you couldn't leech off him anymore, he doesn't have the same value to you anymore, does he? And don't sit here and think that a coach can't leech off a player. Remember this. And Coach Prime be the first one to tell you this shit. I don't give a fuck who you are as a coach. If you ain't got players, you suck. You're going to get shit stomped. We could have the best fucking scheme in the world. You roll out 11 bankers, you're fucking dead.
Facts.
There's so much more to this. And it should be a cautionary tale for all the other kids who are in this position, and there's a lot of them that are making money, that think they're above the law and the rules don't apply to them. They're driving around like fucking assholes. What is the point? I'm a slow ass driver, dog. Like, in my 9.6 Impala, I maybe hit 60 miles an hour, maybe way lean back. I let people drive around me and flip me off all the time, and I'm just like, well, this guy's really pissed off. Look at this fucking guy. I don't understand road rage. Like, I love the people who stop at a stoplight and then maneuver around you, and then they have to stop at the next stoplight, and you pull up right next to them, and you're like, that was pretty tricky fucking move. I don't understand this fascination with, I'm young and I'm going to go fast and furious this shit. Jalen Carter did it. How many fucking kids have done this in the last 3 years? The entire Georgia football team.
Again, I don't know. I don't know. So what happens? You get a Hellcat, but you don't know how to drive it, man.
It's not just athletes, it's kids. It's like a generation of kids who think that they don't have like a life bar, dog. We didn't type in the contra code where there's fucking unlimited lives. Up, down, left, right, start, select, GTA. There's no contra code in life, dog.
Yeah, exactly. It's like GTA or something. It's crazy. Yeah, and you raised the point there. Absolutely, Matt. Man,
do you know what Contra is?
Hmm?
Have you ever heard of the game Contra?
Contra. No, I haven't.
You young son of a bitch.
Then sorry, I don't know old video games.
Okay,
I gotta ask.
My world is old.
I'm sorry, I don't know your video game there, but Matt, I gotta ask you. You already talked about it briefly earlier, and I broke this down last week with Sean King. But Colorado's leading rusher from this last season, Isaiah Gustav, is no longer with the program, and this is interesting news as we are upon the spring transfer portal window here. But Matt, I'm not too concerned about this loss for Colorado's running back room led by Marshall Faulk. I'm really excited to see the emergence of Brandon Hood, who we have yet to see here, but where I guarantee you is going to have an impact. I think he's a freaking stud, and I'm really excited to see him this season. Obviously, you're going to have Micah Welch and Dallin Hayden as well here this season. But Matt, what is your thoughts when you saw Isaiah Augusta was no longer with CU's football program?
I was disappointed in him.
Mm-hmm.
Again, let me ask you, do running backs get hurt a lot? Yeah. Are we going to be in a position, and I mean the University of Colorado, the royal we, the editorial, where they're going to run the football a lot more this year, whether it's to support a rookie or going to run first system RPO base with Salter? Yes, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
So I would say they double their carries each game. I think this is extremely short-sighted for a guy who led the team in rushing and touchdowns last year, who I thought was a pretty hard-nosed back. So, I mean, I don't know if he was tampered with and somebody else just decided to scoop in, but he quit in the middle of spring ball, bro. This seems like to me like him and Sam Hart. Shocker, Sam Hart quit. And Sam Hart went to Chaparral down the street here in Denver or Cherokee Trail, and I'd never think that he would be a worker, and he ain't. The guys who are quitting mid-spring, they're either being cut by the coach or they're just walking in and being like, oh, I'm not getting any opportunity, and the other guys might be better. And they quit. So I'm disappointed, to say the least. I think that he should have manned the fuck up and finished spring and see where the chips fall, because backs get hurt quick. Again, I'm going to go back to the old head days, okay? Chris Brown, Cortland Johnson, Bobby Purify, and fucking Marquisha Houston, okay? 2001, November 26, 2001, we're playing Nebraska, number one in the country. We beat him 62-36. Cortland Johnson started the game. The week before, Cortland Johnson in Ames to wrap up, to put us in position to go play for the North title, went for 115 yards rushing and like 125 yards passing in one game, okay? He was supposed to get all the work in the Nebraska game, all of it, him and Bobby. Chris was the third string back. The third play of the game, Cortland goes down with a high ankle sprain, and all of a sudden Chris Brown is in there running for 170 fucking yards and six motherfucking touchdowns on national TV, and all of a sudden he's Chris Brown. So, again, in a position where we rotate and guys get hurt constantly, maybe we shouldn't be so fucking short-sighted.
Yeah, absolutely. And one thing Sean King brought up was he's like, Colorado's has yet to have like an emergence of a star running back, and I'm like, well, Sean, I don't think they've really had the opportunity to have really of an emergence here, especially last season.
Why would you run the ball with that shitty offensive line when you got Shedeur and Travis?
That was my point. It was a Shedeur air raid dominant offense here with Travis Hunter.
And this is exactly why. Remember, maybe 3 months ago when I said, if they don't run the ball this year, they're choosing not to do it.
Yeah.
People got all pissed off at me about it. Like, I don't know why that's fucking controversial. I still believe it wholeheartedly. If they don't run the ball this year, they are actively making a choice not to run the football because they have to now. They don't have Shedeur and Travis and Jimmy Horn and Wester and fucking Shepard. And their offensive line's better. Like, this is a crazy stat. But I've got right now in the gym, Breck and Deacon and Reese are, number one player in the country in his position, number one player in the state, number one player in the state in their classes. And they've all got multiple SEC and Big Ten offers, but they've got a lot of Big 12 offers too, other than Colorado still hasn't offered Reese Russell. Colorado has still not offered Reese Russell. Reese Russell is Matt Russell's son, the Buckus winner in '96, who's like one of my best friends. Reese Russell is a bad motherfucker. He's a better player right now than Cash Cleveland at center, and he's a junior in high school. And I'm not fucking playing. He is a monster.
Yeah.
The fact that they haven't offered him yet is ridiculous. The top 3 schools for him are like Oklahoma, Georgia, and fucking Nebraska. So I'm just saying, we offer Reese Russell for the love of God. He's only the number 1 player in the state as a junior. What I'm saying is, when I'm talking to them, you know what the sales pitch is from the Big Ten and the SEC schools? We run the ball 200 times a year more in the SEC and the Big Ten than they do in the Big 12. Why in the fuck would you want to go to a Big 12 school and pass that all day when we can come here and road grade? And by the way, you're playing against the best defensive lineman, which automatically puts you at the top of the list of the best offensive linemen, and we roll. Now, look, I'm sure Jordan Seaton was sold that same bag of goods, and he went to CU. I'm not saying it's a negative. I'm saying that's the way they're talking to these kids. Why would you go somewhere where you have to pass that all day?
Yeah, and
that's the fucking world that we find ourselves in here. When you're talking about, like, every time Breck or Deacon or Reese or these guys post on Twitter, I watch a strong contingent of Colorado fans like almost eviscerate them. Like, you better go to Boulder. Like, come to Boulder, come to Boulder, come to Boulder, come to Boulder. Like, just you wanting them to go to Boulder. So
yeah, and you said it best. I think it's a short-sighted move here. I think Augusta would have been the premier back, but one thing huge
too. Like, why are
he's 6'2", 210? He can run. Like, I don't understand this. Maybe he didn't fit well with Coach Falk. I don't know. But I'm really excited to see the other 3 backs: Welch, Dallin Hayden, and
who's talking about padding stats, Richard? Did I just say anything about padding stats? That's not what I said. Listen to what I'm saying again.
I think he's talking
about SEC and the Big Ten schools. Okay, where Deacon Schmidt was at SC this weekend.
I think that guy's talking in the chat, though. I don't think he's talking to you. But
okay, well, all I'm saying is, they run the ball more in the Big Ten and the SEC. It's one of the main recruiting points to offensive linemen. So
yeah. Then for offensive linemen, that's a huge. And
yes, if Pat Schumer isn't going to establish the run, he should be fired. I agree, because I can't imagine that he's going to be able to get away with it when he's standing there calling plays, and right behind him is Andre Gerard and fucking Marshall Falk.
Yeah.
So what, is he going to turn around and tell Marshall and Dre to shut the fuck up? We're not running the ball today. I don't think so.
Coach George Hageman right there too. Like, it's. I mean, I really think CU's run game is going to be something we want to see here in terms of some variation in the run game. Not as vanilla as we saw this past season. Matt, before we get out of here, I wanted to ask you. A lot has happened here since we've been live here on 0 to 60, and a lot of quarterback.
We got lots to talk about still. We're not done.
Yeah, well, we got a lot to talk about, but. Where are you at on Shedeur Sanders in the NFL draft here? It seems like the Cleveland Browns, all signs are pointing to the Cleveland Browns going with Travis Hunter here, and it sounds like the Giants aren't going quarterback.
No.
Where are you at with Shedeur? Go ahead.
Okay, I think that I've never really seen anybody be evaluated like Shedeur before. Like, I don't understand I don't like him because he's cocky thing. Like,
yeah,
he's our quarterback. I want the quarterback to be the cockiest, most arrogant son of a bitch on earth. I need him to believe that he's the best and he's going to do the best, period. Great. Especially a rookie quarterback. Fuck walking into that meat grater. I said this morning on JB's show, and I'm reiterating again. My mindset's kind of changed on it. With 6 months to think about the draft, because goddamn, bro, can they move this fucking draft?
Talking about
it is driving me nuts. Like, the waiting game for the draft is crazy. It just allows all the false narratives to get brought up, and it's the same conversation over and over again. My thing is with Shedeur, I don't think Shedeur's hurting for money right now. I think Shedeur is loaded. Like, I think Shedeur is making more money than a lot of rookies are making in the NFL. He's already got a Maybach and a fucking Benz and all this other shit and a mansion and a ton of endorsement deals. I don't really think that money Yeah, dog. Like, I don't think that money is really setting the table for Shedeur Sanders. I think that pick and fit are two different things. So back in the day, you wanted to get picked as high as possible, regardless of where you were going, so you get your signing bonus, especially in the bonus baby era. Remember, Sam Bradford got picked by St. Louis first and got like $75 million to sign, right? Yeah. Bonus babies. So now that the bonus baby era is over, and you can make money in NIL, and if you can market yourself, and if you have connections like Prime does, and obviously Shedeur can play, well, if he's already sitting on 10, 12, 15 million in the bank, which I imagine if I had to guess, that's where he's at least. Is it really, I need to go as high as possible to a shit organization, or is falling to 21 at Pittsburgh the best thing that could ever happen to him? I could see a world where the Browns take Travis second and then trade back in with Denver at 20, because I've heard Denver wants to trade out of 20. They really like the Terrence Ferguson kid in the second round at tight ends. They can accumulate picks. Trade back into the first round at 20 with Cleveland and take Shedeur at 20, and then you've got Travis and Shedeur in Cleveland. And if you thought the media hype in Denver and Boulder was fucking insane, now mix the NFL and the turds. You know, I know they signed Flacco, but I don't. So I think that Shedeur is feeding off of all this as well. I don't think that he's intimidated by any of it. I don't think that he's scared of any of it. I don't think he runs from the controversy or the criticism. I think it fuels him. I think that he smiles in the face of adversity the same way he smiles in the face of guys when they're trying to run him over, and spits blood and goes and leads comebacks. So again, when he's sitting there going, I went to Jackson State, which was a losing program, won the conference. I went to CU, who hasn't done shit in 20 fucking years, went 9-4 and turned things around. If you are looking for a leader and a guy who wants to turn around a franchise, take me. And that, bro, I think that it would be ridiculous not to take him. And I wouldn't be surprised if there's teams fighting to get into the top 10, top 15, top 20 to do so with trades.
Man, okay. So a lot to unpack there, Matt. So no Shedeur to the Raiders anymore. That's done for you?
It's not done. If they were to take him at 6 and put him behind Geno for a year, I wouldn't have a problem with that. I'd be cool with that, but I think that them signing Geno probably says that they're going to go get Gentry.
Genty, I think I've said this for months, man. I think Will Johnson's a lock there. I said no way.
He's a hell of a player too.
Man, that's my call there for the Raiders. I was like, no way. Pete says no to either Mason Graham or Will Johnson. I think Mason Graham probably go 5 to the Jags, to be honest with you. But as we look at it, the Jets are all in on Justin Fields. That's it. That's your new. Your team's new quarterback, Matt, Justin Fields, wearing number 7 there, so that'll be interesting. Panthers aren't going to go quarterback. Now, you go to 9 in the New Orleans Saints here, Matt. There's a lot of noise about Shedeur Sanders going to the Saints. Derek Carr is now dealing with an injury that could reportedly keep him out for the entirety of the 2025 season. They got Spencer Rattler down there as well. And Coach Prime responded to a tweet about the Saints. We've seen Prime respond to a lot of different tweets, so I don't give that too much noise there. But Matt, what about the Saints at number 9? Could you see them going quarterback? Do you think Shedeur would be a good fit in New Orleans?
Bro, that would be awesome. Go live with Lil Wayne and play quarterback for the Saints. I'm into that.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, dude. And it's inside, and you got Alvin Kamara, and they got some good pieces, and I know that they're in cap hell, but they can figure that out. I think that could be a really, really good fit for Shedeur. Fuck yeah.
Well, I think there's so much noise there, and I just don't know that something tells me they're going to go Rattler. Matt, as we go down the list, though, you have an old prediction that could be a new prediction. The Dallas Cowboys at 12. Take a listen to this.
Say that Shedeur gets drafted by the Cowboys and Dion goes to coach the Cowboys, and he's gone next year. That's just me. I think Dak's gone. They find a way to draft Shedeur. They fire McCartney. They bring in Coach Prime.
Well, we are a year.
So
Almost
how
a
would
year
that get
later.
done? How would that get done now?
They draft Shedeur at 12, and it's going to be a whole, Matt, if the Browns can move on from Deshaun's $230 million contract, could Jerry Jones really?
Of course they can get rid of Dak if they can find a trade partner. I'm saying who in the top 12 would
I don't
trade
think they trade him, though. I think could it be like a Garoppolo situation where he's like always there, and then eventually Shedeur starts in a year?
I don't think you can have both of them on the roster together.
Okay. Matt, if Shedeur's at 12, there's no way Jerry Jones passes on him. I mean, you really think he does? I mean,
if Dak is going to be the guy there, yeah, I do.
Damn. Okay, so.
But then again, let's think about this. Okay, let's say Titans, Browns. Let's say Dak says yes to New Orleans. And New Orleans and Dallas switch picks. So Dak and the first rounder goes to 12 or goes to 9. And then the Saints or the Cowboys move up to the Saints pick. And they traded their quarterback to New Orleans, and now they're picking 12th. And you get this year's first, next year's first, and Shedeur. Then I think he goes to Dallas. And then a year from now, I think that, Brian Schottenheimer that's the easiest fucking move on in this history of move-ons. So, yeah, I could see that happening. Absolutely.
Damn. Okay.
And look, I think that the Cowboys are the type of team that would take Shiloh in the 5th or 6th just to put the fucking put the star on the tree. So, and then that would, when you're looking at it, if Schottenheimer struggles next year, Coach Prime's just going to be sitting there like, okay, now this makes sense.
Yeah. And, CU fans don't like to hear that. I mean, I'm not even going to go down the realm of possibility with Prime. I mean, if Brian Schottenheimer, it's really up to him.
I don't think it's going to happen.
There's a lot of expectations.
They went and got Milton, and they got so much money wrapped up in Dak.
They got
it
Milton.
Sounds good, but I don't see it.
Fan of Milton, Matt.
I don't see it happening.
You're a big fan of Milton, though. I
think Milton's a stud, dog. I think Milton's a better fucking player than people give him credit for, honestly.
Yeah, he's a freaker.
Don't be surprised if Dak gets hurt and Milton steps in there and takes his job.
Damn. Well, they traded with New England for Milton.
I think they're tired of Dak a little bit, bro. Like, Dak is a great regular season player, but he's dog shit in the playoffs, and then he's hurt a lot, and he's really expensive.
Yeah.
But that's the Cowboys' fault, too. The Cowboys wait to sign their guys. So they wait so long to sign them that their number goes up. So, I mean, I can't really sit here and complain like, oh, the Cowboys are paying so much. They do it to themselves, the dumb fucks.
Matt, what the hell's going on in Pittsburgh? Is Aaron Rodgers signing there? Are they going to start Mason Rudolph, who is right now is the only quarterback on the roster there in Pittsburgh?
Shedeur Sanders will be playing for the Pittsburgh Steelers or the Cleveland Browns. That's my pick. Saints at 9. If he gets past New Orleans, I think Cleveland moves up to 20 to take him in front of Pittsburgh. And if they don't do it, I think Pittsburgh takes him at 21, and that's it.
Wow. Okay, so there's Matt's predictions for Shedeur as of April or as of the 14th here. Here are my 3 teams to watch. Your Jets at 7, like I initially predicted. Dallas at 12, because I mean, there's no way Jerry Jones
are sitting in that room with Jerry Jones and Shedeur Sanders is just sitting there, and you're like, I think we're gonna go with the big tackle from A&M. Like, nah, dog. Like, I don't think that he's going to be able to control himself.
There's no way he says no, in my opinion. If he falls past 12, I talked about this with Sean King last week, and I think he makes a great point. And this is probably be the best fit in terms of quarterback development for Shedeur Sanders. And this is the Los Angeles Rams at 26.
Bro,
Man,
I was just getting ready to say that.
If you
I
were
was
to
just
go
getting
to
ready to
LA,
say, if he gets past Pittsburgh
mhm.
and Sean McVay sitting there with an aging quarterback, bro, just fucking pick Shedeur, sitting behind Stafford for a year and fucking roll. Yeah, I was just getting ready to say that. That would be a great set right there.
Yeah, I really think
I also think the Lions could be a good fit too, because I think Goff is a good player, but again, like, you know, there's a time clock on all these quarterbacks too. So you can never have enough good football players.
Yeah, if he goes past 26, watch Detroit. Man,
how about the Colts?
Indianapolis, they're starting Daniel Jones.
But that's exactly why. Wouldn't you want to fucking bring in more?
I don't think they're going to draft him. I think they're going to be too scared, Matt. You really think they're going to draft a quarterback after the AR thing to throw along? Like, I think they're too scared to.
Yeah, but AR was just strictly potential, bro. He was on a 6-16. It wasn't very good, but he just had a big arm and could run. Shedeur is a polished quarterback.
Man. I think Indians kind of has their quarterback battle set.
Hey, I got an idea. Can we just get this fucking bullshit over with so we can start talking about real football?
Matt, you got what? 10 days, 12 days, and then we can start talking about this or whatever. I mean, it's not that much. We got 2 more weeks of debating this. Let me ask you, this is one thing that hasn't happened. First year since what? I think Montana was traded to the Chiefs. There hasn't been a first-round pick traded. Do you think there's going to be a big draft day trade?
We're not saying he's going to fall to 26, but I don't.
You got to be realistic. Okay, I'm not sitting here pushing. I think the Titans should draft him number 1.
He was going to go number 1 for years, but I have to look at actually what's happening right now and what teams have. Do I think that anywhere after number 3 can be traded for 2? Absolutely. Mm-hmm. Do I think the Giants would listen to trade offers? Yeah. Do I think the Patriots would? Yeah. Do I think the Jaguars would? Yeah. Do I think the Raiders would? Yeah. The Jets? Yes. The Panthers? Yes. I think everybody would listen to a haul to go get the quarterback you want. So do I think he could go in the top 5 or 10? Absolutely. Do I think he's deserving of it? Yes. But if we're just looking at, let's take away the ability to trade. If we're just looking at the board, I would say 9, 21, 26 are the top 3 spots. And 12's in there just because of the fandom and the history. But I don't see how that works. That would take some major finagling. I don't think you can have Shedeur and Dak on the same team. I think you could easily have Shedeur and Flacco and old Rub and Tug and the other kid from UCLA on the same team. Who gives a shit?
Oh, they traded him. They traded DTR. That's how they got Kenny Pickett, small hands.
Pickett's on that team now?
Yeah, you didn't know that? So the Browns
I missed that one. Yeah.
The Browns traded DTR for Kenny Pickett. So small hands picking Joe Flacco and Deshaun Watson.
So you got Rub and Tug, small hands, and a 70-year-old. I think Shedeur would be pretty good in that room. And it would give them a reason to get rid of Deshaun too.
I think the only scenario that Shedeur ends up in Cleveland, let me rephrase. The only way that Shedeur and Travis end up playing together anytime soon is, like you just mentioned, Cleveland trade.
That would be pretty dope, dog. I mean, I know they're the Turds, but just think about if Shedeur and Travis got to go to Cleveland and play for the Turds. That would be pretty cool. I mean, I don't know if it will work.
Baker go in there. I think Shedeur could figure it out. Yeah. And it's not hating. This is the shit in the chat pisses me off. It's not hating if we're saying Shedeur goes 26. Sean King's not hating if he says he has a late first-round grade on Shedeur. It's not hating, dog.
Just think about, do I think that the 49ers were wrong when they picked Alex Smith over Aaron Rodgers? Yeah, I do. But do I think Aaron Rodgers would have been the same quarterback if he would have gone number 1 to San Francisco? No, I don't.
Well said,
because when he went to Green Bay, he had to sit and mature and eat shit, and it just drove everything that you saw from Aaron when he finally got his opportunity. Mm-hmm. And he was an established fucking franchise that wasn't changing head coaches every 2 minutes. And I know San Francisco did good things with Alex Smith, but they didn't win a title. They didn't win multiple MVPs. So I'm going to say this: it's fit, not necessarily pick. especially when you're making the kind of money that Shedeur makes now just from college football. I mean, if he was just a college kid and he didn't make any money, then I'd probably be bitching about this a lot more. But the fact that he's sitting on 15 stacks and he's driving a Maybach already, and God knows what else is going on in Shedeur's life financially, which I'd imagine is extremely fruitful. Yeah, this is about fit for me with him. And Mike Tomlin and the Pittsburgh Steelers and a run-first under center offense with a great defense. What's Pittsburgh missing routinely? A quarterback. They're always in the fucking playoffs, and they're always losing these days because they are starting Mason Rudolph and fucking whoever else they got on their fucking roster trying to win. So they need a real quarterback at the position, and Shedeur might be that guy.
Here's my one pushback on Pittsburgh, Matt, and I want to get your thoughts on it. What is you just mentioned it? Pittsburgh Achilles' heel has been quarterback, right? But what have they struggled to what have they struggled to develop? Also a quarterback. Now, when you look at Shedeur, I want Shedeur to go to a place to get developed. That's why I'm like big on the
DK and Pickens, bro. And Freiermuth and like a good old line spot, dude. It's just it seems like a really sexy fit for me.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think ultimately Aaron Rodgers is going to sign there before the draft in the next 14 days. I think I'd be shocked if he does it, and then he's really going to go past the NFL draft not being signed. I'd be shocked.
He sucks.
Yeah, man loves Aaron Rodgers,
but he really pisses me off.
Yeah, and nonetheless, Russell Wilson to the Giants, Matt, and Jameis Winston also to the Giants. Are you excited about this?
I love what Coach Brian said. What he said, Shedeur goes to the Giants. It's going to be more flair in that room than you've ever heard. Like that, personally, as a godless heathen atheist, I would be pretty annoyed by that shit.
Yeah, I could only imagine Russ and Jameis. I don't know if DeVito's still on that roster. Man, that would be quite the
Cutlass. Oh,
exactly.
I'd be sitting there like, will you guys shut the fuck up? Jesus.
I think the reason that they signed those two quarterbacks is, Brian Daboll simply he has to win 8 games or else he's probably gone. And so
probably his ass is cooked. He's gone immediately.
Yeah, so I think bringing in Russ, Jameis, if Russ doesn't work out, is probably your best bet here instead of going rookie quarterback on a pretty
look. The other thing is you got to look at next year's group. Mm-hmm. Assuming Manning leaves after 1 year, which I don't know if he will. I think he might stay for 2 years in college.
Yeah.
Next year's quarterback class is fucking awful, dude. It's terrible. The kid, the leader in the clubhouse is the kid from Penn State, and he just does not do it for me.
Howler, yeah,
he doesn't do it for me, dog. So, I mean, it's real. I'm sure we'll have guys emerge that really play well this year, and that's great. But when we're looking at it just now, right now, from a bird's eye view, you might want to get your quarterback this year, bro, because next year's class is poo-poo.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's tough because Matt
also keep getting a job.
Matt, your hate for Russell Wilson is, you should. I mean, I don't know. You don't like Russell Wilson. You don't like Aaron Rodgers. You have fair reason.
As a player, I don't like Aaron Rodgers because I'm bitter and hurt as a Jet fan. Okay, so just unless you know what it's like to play for the Jets or root for them, shut the fuck up because it's awful. It's like purgatory for football. Okay, and yeah, he pisses me off a little bit. But he's a hell of a player. Russ, just the football player is not that terrible.
Yeah, but oh Jesus,
come on, dog.
Oh Jesus,
this guy can't hold on to his keys, his cars, or his woman. I don't want him to.
Oh, Jesus, I gotta stop baiting Matt, man.
The whole thing with Russell Wilson is he's just such a corny fuck. I can't take him seriously. Like everything he says and does is like, okay, Russ. And I'm over him big time.
I'm really excited about Russell Wilson and the Giants.
I know you are. Did you buy a Russell Wilson Giant jersey yet?
No. I don't. Come on,
liar, get it?
Like that. But I mean, look. Brian Daboll signed them to save his job because I don't think he's going to trust a rookie quarterback to win him 8 games, especially with the state the Giants are in right now. I think
Russell and Jameis ain't going to win him 8 games.
That's his best shot right now. I think ultimately.
That division's stacked, and they're at the bottom of it.
Do you share the same sentiment Sean King does? He's a big Jameis guy. He thinks Jameis.
I think Jameis is funny.
Oh, okay. So
he's a good backup. He's a good backup.
He's a good backup. Oh, okay. Sean's he thinks Jameis is a starter in this league. I'm with him.
He started a bunch of games. The last time he started a full season, I'm pretty sure he threw 38 touchdowns and 38 interceptions.
No. Remember when he was in New Orleans? He played 6 games or something. They were actually a good team, and then
but he didn't start the whole season.
Yeah,
he was a backup that came off the bench.
Well, folks, there you have it. You got Matt and I's predictions for Shedeur Sanders in the draft. We'll see if Aaron Rodgers ends up signing. We'll discuss this more as we get closer to the draft.
Can we talk about a couple of funny things at the end, please?
Yes. Yes. Here's our first funny thing. Okay. Your boy and Matt, I saw you post something on Twitter about I don't know who you were talking about, but it was in reference to not being able to. They don't know how to use a sledgehammer. Here you got your boy Dave Portnoy here. This is horrible. He is horrible. He don't know how to use a hammer.
Men.
I don't know what the fuck is
women out there.
Matt, go ahead.
Ladies, gentlemen, whatever. Just listen up. If you have a son, please teach him some grit and teach him how to fucking use a hammer, swing a sledgehammer, change a tire, shit like that. When I saw this, oh my God, it hurts. It hurts my feelings. It hurts my feelings. Dave, dog, why are you doing this to yourself? What are you doing? You're holding the wood? Who swings a hammer like this?
The hell? I don't.
It's terrible. It's awful. Jesus. It made me lose a ton of respect. And I don't mind Portnoy. I think he's a little bit of a douchebag, but that's okay. He's got the money to be a complete douche. This is unfucking acceptable. Look at that. That's fucking unacceptable. Not acceptable.
I couldn't tell if he's clowning or he's being for real.
No, he's being for real. How about a nail gun? What are you doing? What are you doing?
I don't know what is he doing?
There's no way he's being serious right now.
That's what I'm saying. This is satire or something. But I had to show it to prove you. I saw you post a tweet about sledgehammers or something. So I figured this would play along.
We swing sledgehammers every day at tires in my gym. I figured. Kids that walk in and they can't run, they can't swing a sledgehammer, and it's super awkward. I'm like, have you ever done this before? And they're like, no. And I'm like, okay, just because you live in the suburbs doesn't mean you've got to act like you do.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck.
Well, Matt, luckily they have you to teach them what they don't learn, as you quoted, in the suburbs. Matt, I gotta talk. We're gonna talk women's basketball here because
I love this topic.
This is I just gotta bring this up. We're not a women's basketball show.
No shit. We're not sitting here breaking down the WNBA.
Christian Rock, who's a female rapper and the baby mama of the rapper Blueface, speaks to Angel Reese on equal pay. I just got to show this, Matt. Take a listen.
Us getting paid our worth.
Period.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you're doing exactly what LeBron is doing. So.
Oh, my fucking God. Oh, my God, man.
What's going on?
Sis, they ain't got the money for us just yet. But it's coming.
It's not coming, dummy.
I don't understand.
Oh, Jesus. Matt.
I'm going to break this down again for all you diehard WNBA fans. The reason that you don't make any fucking money is because no one gives a shit. They've started to care. Revenue's going up. People are going to games. Great. But until your league can stop being fucking facilitated and everything paid for by the NBA, you're not going to make more money. And you know what, bro? I I'm sorry, but just because you think you're worth more than you are, it's very similar to the whole Nico thing. This is a mindset. It's a poison mindset. You don't get to set your price range. Someone else has to do that for you. It's like when people say, number one, when they give themselves their own nickname, that's a big turn. That's a red flag. And number two, when somebody talks about how great they are, like if I was the greatest defensive lineman ever. Nah, you need someone else to tell you you're great. That's how it's validated. You can't tell yourself you're great. That's a jerk-off session. So personally, isn't this the same chick that got some fucking rappers tattooed on her face?
Yeah.
All right, so everything she fucking says is completely out of the door. No one gives a fuck.
I don't listen.
You don't. It doesn't matter what you say. Shut the fuck up. And Angel Reese, bro, I'm sorry, but you need to focus on playing basketball instead of talking about it because you're not that good. Like, she's not that good, dog. She's the Ben Simmons of the WNBA.
Ben Simmons. Why would you have this female on your podcast, Matt? Like, if you're Angel Reese, why are you having what's her name on the damn podcast? So
they can sit there and complain about the opportunities that they're not getting while they're in the middle of getting it.
Here's the problem with the WNBA and why they don't make money off it in a real way. Women don't watch the WNBA. Like, let's keep it real here. Women don't watch that shit. Like,
no, they're watching
basketball. Like, you don't.
Real Housewives in Atlanta and shit.
Yeah, like, they don't watch that shit. Exactly. Like, exactly what you said, man. That's my takeaway from it. Again, if you're, I host
the reason that the NBA and NFL and all these men's sports are so popular is because you've got meatheads everywhere that love it to death and paint their chest and their titties every week to go fucking sit in the third row and fucking, wow, Patriots! I want to see some fat bitch at a Sparks game, fucking ass naked with Sparks wrestling across his chest, hammering fucking Bud Lights, and then I'll be like, oh, wow, they really got some fans now. But it just seems to me like it's like if you're a father of a daughter, you almost have to go do this because of the world we live in now. And no father wants to go to a WNBA game. I don't care what anyone says. Or it's really something you like. And if you're a dude that likes the WNBA and you're not doing it just trying to get some pussy, like if you're hitting on a girl and she used to play college basketball and she's a huge WNBA fan, you're trying to get some trim. Okay, I'm with that. I can see how you could be a fan. But I've never met a dude in my life ever that's walked up to me and be like, "You fucking see the score of that Sparks game last night, the WNBA? Holy shit! I've never seen more violent layups in my life."
Matt, you are hilarious, dog.
When there's a fucking alley-oop in a WNBA game, I'll watch.
Well, Matt, I support Shaquille O'Neal when he said lower the rim. He actually said that on Angel Reese's podcast. So those who have a problem with what I just said, get mad at Shaq.
Yeah, they should lower the rim, and then maybe somebody can dunk.
Exactly.
These violent layups, though, it's like getting in a fight in a tent. It's like getting in a fight in a tent. If I'm fighting at my house, I can slam a door and be like, my slamming of the door, you can see how angry I am. But in a tent, you're like slamming the tent. It's like it just doesn't have the same draw. You feel me?
Yeah, absolutely. Matt, last thing before we get out of here, you sent me this. So this was you. I'm sure you have a reaction to this, or you might find this funny. I find this pretty funny, but JB would hate this, but take a look at this.
Getting ready for the season.
Oh, dude, this is
Ray Lewis, baby.
Do you like this? Do you have a problem with this? Go ahead.
No,
I think it's hilarious.
None of these kids can play. It's pretty funny. If my kid did this, I'd be mad as fuck because I'd have to pay for all the shit. But these idiots can do it. I think it's pretty funny. Yeah, I laughed my balls off when I saw it. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, I thought it was hilarious. I was just like, I didn't know the angle.
This kid's laying on the ground like,
What the fuck? I don't know. All these
dog.
This shit's funny. Well, unbelievable, Matt. Great show on this fine Monday. 0 to 60 is back Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Matt, we got a plethora of guests here. Wednesday, go ahead. Tell us about our guests, Matt. Go ahead.
So on Wednesday, a great friend of mine, both of them are great friends, but former Buff legend and NFL vet Hannibal Navies will be on. Great linebacker, wore number 8 in Boulder way back in the day. He'll be on Wednesday to talk Buffs and everything. This great defense that we're about to see up there in Boulder. And then Friday, 15-year vet, Super Bowl champion Chad Brown will be on to talk about the same thing, just the NFL, college football, the draft, everything else. So Hannibal and Chad will be on the next 2 days, 2 of the best linebackers that have ever donned the black and gold. And I'm telling you, Hannibal might be the most gangster fucking name I've ever heard.
Yeah, that's facts.
Like,
man.
tell me, like, what's your name? Hannibal. Every woman is immediately just wet, and every dude is like, "Damn, I'm not fucking that dude." No, it's like a waterfall of wetness, and then all the dudes are intimidated and shit. And Hannibal's just over there, like, "Yep." What he does.
I can't wait to get the chance to interview him and talk to him on Wednesday, Matt. It's gonna be a great
And
show.
I will say this too: this guy right here, that's Doc Holliday, great Val Kilmer who just passed.
Yeah, rest in peace.
You get a chance to go watch the Val Kilmer movies. Go watch Heat. Go watch The Doors. Go watch Tombstone. I'm Michael Beam, who plays Johnny Ringo in Tombstone. They were interviewing him after Val died, and he goes, "Well, what'd you think about Val Kilmer?" And he goes, "I never met Val Kilmer." And they're like, "What do you mean?" He goes, "I only met Doc Holliday. He doesn't break character." So he's one of my favorite actors, and in some of my favorite movies. Go watch Wonderland. That fucking movie kicked ass. But that right there, Doc Holliday and Tombstone,
Yeah,
the best fucking role I think I've ever seen. So say win.
absolutely, Matt. We'll be back Wednesday here on 0 to 60. 0 to 60.
This fucking shit is sexy, isn't it?
You need to rock the cowboy hat more. I'm with it.
I'm going to.
Going to the spring game with it. I'm with that. To all those watching, I appreciate you guys tuning in here to 0 to 60 on our return show. We'll be back on Wednesday. Hit that like button, subscribe, become a member of the Dungeon family. I'll be live tomorrow on my show with former Washington State, former NFL CFL quarterback Alex Brink. Will be joining my show. Nice. He's going to talk John Mateer. He transferred to Oklahoma. We're going to talk about his transition, all things Washington Huskies, Washington State Cougars. He's a Pacific Northwest guy like myself. So great interview. I'll drop the link. Yeah, check out
the new sponsor here. So check them out at Melin, MELIN. Go to Melin.com. They do a great job. So check them out.
Absolutely. And we'll be back on Wednesday. Check out my show tomorrow and hit that like button, subscribe, become a member. Matt, great show on this fine Monday. It's great to be back on 0 to 60, and we'll see you guys tomorrow. Enjoy your Monday. Peace.